Welcome back! I am Ari and I recently played Olympia Soiree. Today I present to you my route review for Tokisada of the Green. Okay, so I'm not gonna go into spoilers right now. You can safely watch this video. I'm gonna just tell you about my feelings and findings, like what I observed in the common route. Then we will go into the route where we'll still try to not spoil you on anything. I will also let out any details of the plot and what happens, who did what, etc. And then at the end I will go into a little bit of spoilers, like I'm not gonna spoil the best parts or something. And then I'm gonna rate the character in comparison to all the other characters and just my personal rating. So let's get into Tokisada's character in the common route. Okay, so in the common route, Tokisada has this genki front, so he's really energetic and happy and like outgoing kind of. But behind that there seems to be something mysterious. So genki front and mystery in the back is kind of what I felt when I played the common route. I couldn't really quite read him. I wasn't sure if he was like just really simple or really complex. But when he is caught off guard is what I noticed, then he's really flustered and then you can really see that he's younger than the other guys. He acts younger suddenly. He's definitely a bishōnen and knows it. And he seems to hold his beauty in high regard because, you know, he talks about it a few times and he takes the baths all the time. He is definitely from Japan and he is the only outsider and love interest. And he seems to be surprised that Olympia doesn't mind, which I find a little bit weird because the outsider seems to be revered on this island. The dynamic between them is I don't really know. It was kind of weird that he asked her if she knew him. It's all really innocent. Maybe he's actually the most innocent character. I'm not sure. It might be Himuka, but I'm not sure because I didn't play Himuka yet. But it's definitely between those two. Actually, judging by how quickly Himuka is able to kill people or like okay with killing people, at least he said so, okay? Like yeah, he said later on in I think another route that he actually wouldn't. But yeah, anyway, it could also be that Tokisada plays his innocence though. These are all my thoughts on the common route. Now we go into the route. Okay, flat out, I'm gonna say about Tokisada's route, he has the best CGs. I'm so jelly that he got them all. Like, he got multiple. Just gonna put that out there. I mean, I really like Yosuga's, and I like the feel of Riku's a lot. But damn, Tokisada just, they splurged when they drew his. Not gonna lie, he also has a really nice design, so I guess I can understand. Anyway, he's pretty friendly and a bit worried about Olympia's innocence. What really surprised me, again, now we're going into root territory, so this is kind of like spoiler territory. I guess you could have noticed maybe in the common route, I'm not sure. But he's actually kind of lonely and withdrawing. He secludes himself. He seems to be unsure of his place. And I have to, for my rating later, I have to put this out here. I am kind of negatively biased towards him because I'm not a Shota fan. I like men, not boys, but I actually grew to really like this route and him in the course of this. I think they have like a really beautiful romance. I'm gonna talk more about this later. I really liked his determination to change things, but I have to say it got really annoying at some point. He's kind of stuck. I really liked the insight into the outsiders, but I was not as invested. I mean, it was really interesting to read. I don't know what was wrong. I really liked how they grew, how they became closer, and I also kind of liked the plot. I think it's in the third part of the story that it kind of fell off with me. Like when the villain was established, I kind of didn't like it. It kind of felt too on the nose at points. I was really surprised by the proposal though, and I actually thought it made sense. A lot of things that he did made sense. It was really interesting. That's, I think, when I really started to like his person. He was so honest about everything. Well, yeah, mostly everything. About his character still, he's really young and observant. He wants to do many things, but he just lacks the courage to do so, and sometimes also the skills. So he's pretty unsure and hesitant, which I completely understood. I kind of like that they tried to do something with this. The hard part is that it also kind of made him complacent. Maybe that's like the wrong way to say it. His character just kind of felt complacent. I mean, kind of in the past. But he really thought things through. He's a really straight shooter, so he's really honest and just out with it, usually. I was pretty surprised with the Christianity drop-in. And I can also see a Jesus parable. I think that's how you say it in English. And I don't know how I feel about that, I'm gonna lie. Okay, so now I am gonna go into the spoilery section. I really liked how their lifestyles fit, or like their past lifestyles, how they could relate to each other. That was quite nice, I didn't expect that. It also kind of gave me senpai vibes. I guess I would have preferred it if he would call me senpai, but he said One-san the whole time. It was a bit uncomfortable at some point. I didn't mind it for most of the time actually, but like at some point it was kind of weird. He's also so shy and easily flustered. That was actually really cute. He has those goddamn puppy eyes. I get so weak to them. I don't know what to do. I'm not used to this. I'm not a fan of shotas. I like men, not boys. But yeah. It was actually kind of cute how Olympia seemed so much younger with him and in his CGs. I really liked how they started dating and how that all progressed. It was really cute. It was a really nice progression. I actually really liked that he cried too. I think in the next, or like the scene after, he was suddenly really manly. So he seems like what I would call like fine material. So I think he will do pretty fine in the future when he's a bit more grown up. Then he will be a real treat. But sadly, we only get his younger self. I mean, there's also, I'm saying sadly right now, but there's like a certain rejoicing in also seeing this. Sometimes it can be really nice, and in this case, I guess it is. Since we are already in the spoilers section, though, I'm gonna talk about some things that I did not like. I guess the whole drifting thing. It was fine at the beginning, it was fine in the middle, but like at some point, it just became too much. And the conclusion at the end was kind of like, oh, okay. So I was actually really looking forward to his miracle, but when it, and quote unquote, happened, I was actually really underwhelmed at this point. It was like, it was just too late, to be honest. And then it was really weak sauce. I was kind of getting upset in between. But I think the many and well-written romance scenes at the end saved it from being a bad route. The whole villain plot at the end that is established, I did not really like. I can see what they were doing with it, but I just didn't care that much. It was just so drawn out at points, and then you didn't really see some of the scenes that should have invested you, and like it was also second hand. I understand that it's important, but I don't know. It was just not presented well, I think, or maybe too stretched out, or I don't know. There was just something missing, something that wasn't really done right. So I actually have a note in my notebook that says, finally something happened, I was nearly getting bored. I wasn't actually bored in this route, but yeah. I was also really surprised when we get into the, I guess, more spicy parts of this route. Like I'm just gonna say I was really surprised. Didn't think he had it in him, but he did, and I'm really happy he did. All of these CGs were so good. I was really happy about that. But then it already took a turn again, and I mean, everybody knows who the psycho is, but yeah. I don't know, it was just a bit much in the end. I think the romance was absolutely fine. Maybe they should have just done, I don't know, I guess they needed a plot, and the plot was just a bit meh. It's similar to Riku, but worse. I don't know. But the romance was really good. I guess the romance was better than Riku's. Riku's gets really good at the end, but it takes so long to get there. To get to the good bits. We get there pretty quickly in Tokisada's. So yeah, romance is better in Tokisada's than in Riku, but the plot is like a bit worse than Riku's, I guess. Not gonna even try to compare it to Yosuga actually. Okay, so let's get to the rating.
Olympia 殿よかった。やっとこっちを向いてくれましたね。お姉さんが。わあ
Okay, so for Tokisada's route, as you can already hear, it's hard. It's hard to judge because I really liked how the romance progressed, but it just cannot compete with Yosuga. Let's just be honest. I mean, not romance-wise. It's like it's hard to explain. Okay, let me try. So Yosuga's romance is a bit extreme, I guess. And again, I can see how people don't like what he does or how he is, but I think in the end they will be like, not that Tokisada's relationship would be unhappy, but it's just not quite there yet. It's just because they're so young and there's I actually don't think okay, I got it. I think the difference between Yosuga and Riku, their romances, and Tokisada's romance with Olympia is that it's not as meaningful. And I think that's kind of maybe the core problem that I have with him. Yes, the romance is cute and it's well written. The plot, you can see it how you want. I personally don't think it's as well written as Riku's, but it's also not bad. I saw it like a mile away. I think it could have been handled better. I especially found it really weird how Tokisada just sometimes stumbles into scenes. And he's suddenly there by the green, and Olympia just goes there and he's like, oh, what are you doing here? And I was like, wait, but didn't you want to do X? Like, aren't you in a hurry? Isn't this important? But anyway, I'm not even mad about it. I just think it wasn't that interesting in its presentation. It could have been more dramatic. I guess I would have liked it either more dramatic or more in depth. I'm also kind of sad that I didn't meet the leader of the green. Anyway, I expected more of him as a... So I guess I'm not a Tokisada fan. Yeah, I didn't really like his purpose, I guess. And I see just so much more cause and future and like change and the things that Olympia apparently wants and Tokisada apparently too, and I guess the others too. I just see so much more of that, so much more depth and progress in the other routes. I guess that's what I really like about Yosuga. So I guess Tokisada's route in a way gave me more insight on my like of Yosuga, which is kind of, I'm sorry Tokisada, but also thank you for making me vocalize why I like Yosuga so much. Okay, well, I guess that's all about Tokisada. I really like his route though. I actually could see myself rereading this one just because like the romance is so beautifully written. If it was just the romance between the two, he would definitely be higher. And also, I think they will be pretty happy. I don't know if it's so picture perfect and like so just so swoon worthy, because like it's also like how they get together and how they behave each other and how they complete each other. I think this is like kind of like a nice, normal, healthy relationship. But these two are more than that. You know what I mean? So that's the difference. I guess that's the difference. Okay, I have talked about this enough. I'm really interested in Kuroba now because actually I think Yosuga and Kuroba are the guys that interested me the most, except for Akaza. I'm so hyped for Akaza. I actually, now that I waited a year, I can also wait more. But when I started the game, I was gushing about Akaza. For those that remember the episodes, you know. But yeah, so yeah, let me start Yosuga. Never mind. I'm so obsessed with Yosuga at this point that I'm just talking about him every time. Yeah, so wish me luck with Kuroba. Maybe he can fix me. Maybe he can cure me from my Yosuga addiction. And I will see you in the next room review of Kuroba. Until then, bye!